Welcome to Magnorail at Crater Lake number 3. All your Magnorail starter sets come with the same basic set of channeling, chain links, 2 turning circles and motor housing and a motor that's scaled to suit that set's use. The diagram on page 2 shows how to make up the motor, noting the different drop from the chain level needed for the various motors. The chain links are numbered on the sprue and each has a different function when combined together in a particular sequence. The ready-to-run bicycles come with micro magnets already attached to the wheel rim plus 2 track magnets, and getting the polarity right is essential and is discussed later in this video, as are the correctly lettered chain links and the sequence that they need to be in to ensure a good grip and positive movement for the clear driving wheels. The assorted sliders see the need for the micromagnets to be attached correctly. You can clearly see the letters for each of the links, which needs to be carefully cut from the sprue and cleaned with a file to ensure smooth operation. Make sure that the ends are nicely rounded so they don't catch. Sometimes you might find that the track is too long, so what I've done here is to cut the channel to fit, and after smoothing the underside I've inserted a flat piece of plastic over the joint to give it some strength in creating a snug fitting channel. I solder wires to the new motor and attach it to the motor housing with the supplied screws. Clean all the excess plastic from the gears, there's some there that do need work, and file where necessary so there are no catch points. Mounting it into the track, in this instance I put some packing around the bottom of the motor to prevent the power contacts from being knocked before installation. Just a bit of a safety aspect. Alright, let's get on to the next stage. Okay, so we're up to putting the actual chain links into the channeling. And a bit of preparation at this stage can make life much easier for you. If you've got your instruction kit, on your links there are I chopped them all off, put them into separate containers. Obviously the Q&Rs are the biggest lot. And I do mix the STs and X's in there because there's not as many. With the bikes, those of you that buy ready to run will have no problems with this because the magnets are already placed by the company. Just put that onto the wheels of the vehicle, of the bicycles. So you can just see on the bottom of the rims, that little dark bit is the magnets that have been set. And they've been set to go on to magnets that are already facing north. So you have your north facing upwards. So one of the tricks that I've done is to create like a little template here, which gives immediately the bicycle setup. The setup for the tandems and also the ice cream vendor and the the man with the cargo bike, and I've also done one on the side here which I use for my small vehicles and getting into the N-gauge stuff, so I just know at a glance which ones to pick up. So what you do, you've got your Q and your R there, and if your bike's already set up, it'll just stick on that and away you go. So then you know that when you get a magnet to put into the track, it's got to have the right polarity on it. So what I do, I just get my magnets and I just drop them on, and because magnets attract, they're immediately set as to how it's going to be when they're in the track. The next stage, I just get a texter or something, a marker that will go on the metal. So it just has a little bit of a black dot on it. And then I pull that one off and put on a pair of long nose pliers with the black showing up. Okay, so I know that the black is facing up, so that'll be the south polarity. And then I get my, doesn't matter which one at this stage, but this is a Q1, and basically you just fit it in, squeeze. Now, one of the things to be looking at is to ensure you should not be able to see the magnet jutting up. Okay? These are beautifully engineered pieces and have been manufactured, which is, you know, hats off to the guys, you know, the engineers that actually built this, along with Luke, Arno and David. The actual running underneath on your road surface is run on the top of those two rails. Use your template and you'll find that you've got your magnets facing up the right way every time. Now, one of the things that I've chosen to do, and you'll notice if it'll pick up, is that I've painted the actual links once they're on, so that I can identify easily. And I always have a clear patch somewhere on my layout, and this one, the particular one for the bicycles, will be behind the scenes, so I'm going to have a very large area. But I particularly do that so at an instant I know that yes, there's a bike set of magnets coming up, or there's a set of tandems, or the cargo bike, and also I've just introduced a red one, and this will be for the small vehicles. I've got a street sweeper that's coming, and they need much tighter magnets because they're a smaller base. So immediately I know which ones are going to match which vehicles or bikes. So colour coding is a good idea. You can use a white correction pen if you've got one for, say, the bicycles. Otherwise, these are just acrylic paints that I've got, and it's enough for me to be able to recognise it. So, how do we go about this? Well, I find if you take off the turning circle and just lay it down, then using a toothpick, because you know if you use your screwdrivers they're going to stick to it and be a pain, just move it into position, you lift up one edge, alright, and then to move the chain around, because the motor's not operational, just put the toothpick in one of your holes and just drag it round. Alright, so we're at the end of the chain, and I've linked it, and see how there's that bit of slack over here. Now to me that's a bit too much, so what I have to do is keep refining between the small chains, the large chains, and just getting it so it's not a lot of slack in it. There has to be slack to be able to move the actual chain, but too much and it could catch and jump out. So we'll see how we go. And there we have it, them tootling around. You can see the clear bit at the end. So onwards and upwards onto the next episode. Thanks for watching.